Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. It's one of the busiest travel days of the year, and we're coming up on one of the busiest travel hours of the day. To see if Mother Nature will slow down our travel plans, let's check in right away with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Well, so far so good for many of us in the valley. We have had some colder weather today and some cloud cover overhead, and in some cases a little bit of light snow, but it's not a widespread event, and conditions aren't too terrible to be out driving. And of course, this time of year you want to watch out for those icy patches on the road. And if you're heading to any of these locations you see here on the radar where we've got some blue areas, that might be an area where your visibility drops a bit with some fresh snow on the ground, also making it slick. So eastern parts of Roseau County, back over into Lake of the Woods County, and generally in our eastern viewing area, that's where we've had snow in the last couple of hours, or currently. We're looking at some numbers now that are ranging anywhere from 9 degrees in Baudette to 22 in Fargo to 27 in Wahpeton. So some warmer weather in the southern valley at this point in time. The wind coming in out of the southeast there, and we'll continue to see that wind switching to a more southeasterly direction today, and that's going to bring about some changes for us. So here's a look at our planner for today. If you're going to be traveling, watch out for a couple of areas where we might be getting some light snow or flurries into the afternoon. Highs in the mid-20s for Fargo, not as warm. And then later tonight, the wind increases. We're looking at some breezy conditions, but those will actually help to introduce that warmer air for Thanksgiving itself. So we'll talk about that warmer Thanksgiving forecast and take a look at the entire holiday weekend too coming up.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Lisa. New for you at noon, officials are investigating a crash that killed 2 people in North Dakota. Authorities say the crash happened around 7:45 last night in Minot. A 26-year-old man was driving a Chevy truck when witnesses say he tried to pass another vehicle. That's when he hit an SUV head-on that was going in the opposite direction. The 61-year-old driver of the SUV died on the scene. The driver of the truck was taken to a hospital where he later died. The victims' names are not yet released. A Fargo man is recovering from a gunshot wound to his hand after an accidental shooting. Police say the victim was cleaning a handgun in his Northside apartment when the weapon went off. He was taken to the hospital, but the extent of his injuries are unknown. Police say the man will be cited for discharging a weapon inside city limits. Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton is heading home today after being hospitalized at the Mayo Clinic for more than a month. He says his lungs have improved after being damaged by some post-surgery complications. Dayton underwent 2 surgeries last month to fuse vertebrae to improve stability of his back and legs. The city of Fargo is offering ways for people to recycle their holiday lights. People living in Fargo can drop off string lights, newer LED lights, and older style ones with small screw-in lights at the Household Hazardous Waste Facility in North Fargo. For that exact address, you can go to our website. This program will run until January 31st. In our consumer alert this afternoon, be careful when cooking your Thanksgiving meal and putting up those Christmas decorations. Thanksgiving is the worst day of the year for in-home fires. And there are more fires during the holiday season than at any other time of the year. That's according to data from the National Fire Protection Association. More than 2,000 home fires were reported last year on Thanksgiving. Of those fires, 3/4 were cooking related. Thanksgiving fires killed 5 people and caused $19 million in property loss from 2014 to 2016. That's according to the U.S. Fire Administration. Distractions were the main cause of cooking-related injuries. It's expected to rain very hard in Northern California during the next few days. That will help put out the devastating campfire, but could also bring mudslides and further misery. The Butte County Sheriff's Office now says at least 81 people died in the fire. 870 others are still unaccounted for. Meg Oliver has that story.
Diana Sauer spent the day Tuesday handing out flyers.
I was told there's a board down here by the cafeteria that I can post this.
She visited 7 different Northern California shelters, hoping to find 70-year-old Russell Anderson.
He was my father's best friend when I was a child.
It's been a difficult challenge. Sauer says Anderson lived a hermit's life. He had no phone, and she has just a couple photos that are decades old.
How emotional is this for you?
Oh, goodness. I cry a lot and I pray a lot. It kind of feels like I'm searching for a needle in a haystack.
Hers is a search multiplied hundreds of times over, with so many still missing after the Camp Fire devastated an area bigger than 115,000 football fields. We surveyed the damage with CAL FIRE Operations Chief Josh Bischoff.
When you think about how many people were trapped, what puts it into perspective when you look down below?
Any area that has this much dense vegetation, the fire was moving very fast. And so for people to get out of its way was difficult.
Sauer knew the odds were against finding the man she calls Uncle Russ.
I'm just kind of hoping that it's a miracle and I find him before I head home today.
3 hours later, Sauer stopped her car to share some very good news.
What did you find exactly?
I went to one of the evacuation centers and I found his name and his truck on a registration card. Just to know that he got out safely, it means everything.
She was so happy. Now, a shelter worker didn't know where Anderson had gone, and Diana eventually had to make that 3-hour drive home to be with her kids. But she is hoping to receive a phone call from him soon. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Paradise, California.
Officials say the search continues as authorities continue to look for more missing people. Coming up here.